All right, it looks like we have everybody who has signed up to join today. Welcome to our training on employee engagement, recruiting through social media. My name is Tony, and I appreciate everybody here on time. You will have access to the Q&A if you're having issues, or we also have access to the chat function. If you can't see my screen or you can't hear me, please let me know and I can pause and work through whatever might be happening technologically. This presentation will be recorded so that we can give everyone who has attended today access after the fact to be able to look back on. We'll also be sending this as a presentation PDF for you to keep for your records. Here is our disclaimer. The lovely, pesky, amazing lawyers that we work with have reminded us that we need to have this during our presentations because they are lawyers and we are not. But the information that we give today has definitely been sanctioned and looks good from a legal standpoint, but it is not legal advice. So we wanted to remind everybody about that. All right. BlueLion is an HR consulting company for those of us who might not be aware with what we do. Our purpose is to support HR when it comes to businesses, both small and medium, and our specialty is working with blue collar businesses. We are definitely real people with real personalities. Anybody who may have worked with us or our team would recognize that. We are a 1% company, which means we pledge 1% of our profits, our services, and our time to our community, whether it be a nonprofit or another form. And we only provide clients with what they need. We do not oversell. We do not bundle when not necessary. We are 100% customizable to our clients and their needs based on size and what they are looking for. My name is Tony Runcie. I will be your presenter today. I am the co-founder and co-owner of BlueLion. I have over 13 years of HR experience in several different industries, and I help do a lot of the consulting work here and work directly with our team to train our clients and anybody else who might be interested, like you guys today, on anything HR related. So I love to work with a lot of our customers, our community, and then just HR people in general. I am on the board of HREQC, which is Human Resource Association of Greater Concord in New Hampshire. And we work together to make sure that we're advancing the HR careers and the businesses that we work with. All right, so here we go, right? 49% of HR professionals say that their organization plans to increase their virtual method of recruiting and candidate engagement. So that is a pretty big number when you think about it. 46% of people who are working in this profession, whether it's recruitment or HR that does recruiting for their organization, is planning on increasing, which means they already do some form of virtual recruitment, whether it is LinkedIn or any kind of other kinds of reach outs, Google ads. It's going to increase what they're doing in the next year. I think as COVID has shown us that we realize what happens when we can't meet in person, when those networking or those career fairs that we used to be able to do at colleges or in person are no longer able to be attended for safety reasons. So I think that 2020 really showed us what we were capable of doing. In 2021, we increased it, and 49% of the HR professionals surveyed said they're going to increase it even further in 2022. So it is absolutely a place to focus where to find good talent, especially when we are in a what I would call a drought for qualified talent, and with more and more people finding, depending on your industry, the ability to be able to hire across the country. It definitely is allowing us to reach more people. If you're a New Englander, you can hire somebody out in California and they can do the same job as your accountant here, different hours maybe. But how do we reach those people if that's something we are capable of doing? And of course, if you're blue collar, you can't hire somebody out in California maybe to build a house for you here in New Hampshire. But how do we maybe reach those candidates that are looking to maybe relocate, as well as reach those younger demographics who are coming into the workforce and letting them know what we have available for them to have access to. Oftentimes, I know I technically qualify as a millennial, but we recognize when we walk out and about that a lot of people are on their phones and they're most likely getting social. So they're on some level of a social platform, and engaging with them and letting them know that you are looking for them to come work for you is a little bit easier now than it used to be. So social by the numbers, here is just, again, some more statistics that is really a big selling point and reflects how important it is to start leveraging social media. I know a lot of people, especially me at once, were definitely against social media because it is a private platform when you think about it. You're not necessarily reaching people where they are their most professional selves. But it does not necessarily mean that they need to engage with you on an unprofessional level. They could still be recognizing when they're on Facebook, they could be following your company's brand and realize that you are hiring and you don't necessarily need to Facebook stalk or whatever it may be, their backgrounds, to engage with them on a professional level and see if they're interested in what their experience is. It often can just be that first touch too, right? So just because you're engaging with somebody through Facebook doesn't mean you need to go onto their Facebook and research everything that they're interested, their likes, what they've commented on, what they've posted. But what it does is it opens that door for them to engage with you as the employer, which is awesome. So once they start that engagement, you can use links to link back to your career page or your social media career page. You can use information on, inviting them to email their resume to a career email. So it definitely allows the opening of their private professional lives to be shared through their private human lives, I say. So this is just some information on how LinkedIn is being leveraged, Facebook is being leveraged, and other recruiting activities that are going to help you gather that much needed talent in a time where it's difficult to find it. Forgive the infographic, it's a little bit blurry. I tried to get a better image of it, but this is showing the different platforms. So obviously at the very top, depending on what you're doing your recruiting for, we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is much more of a, I would say, a white collar necessarily professional place. However, we are seeing, we do a lot of recruiting for construction companies. We are seeing some of our construction superintendents are on there, and we're getting really good traction from them. You might not necessarily find a mechanic on there if that's what you're looking for, but anybody else, maybe an office manager for your mechanic shop. So leveraging LinkedIn has been really great. Then of course, Facebook. Behind that is Twitter, which is interesting. And then some of the other unique ones, of course, we've got going on here. We have the little red play button is YouTube. Below it is Google+. Then we have Instagram and 3% on Snapchat. I will not lie, I don't think Snapchat is going to be taking off. And that is just because the focus of Snapchat is your images disappear. So having a good connection with a candidate wouldn't be as limited as a 3 or 5 second video that just disappears and you can't see again. It might not necessarily be the best option. So that these are just in the numbers and the percentages of social medias that cast a wide net for your particular target market for your employees. 90% of recruiters reported that they had hired somebody off of LinkedIn in 2021. 90% of people in 2021 were hired off of LinkedIn for the people that participated in the survey. That is huge. The great aspect about LinkedIn, depending again on what industry you're in and what you're hiring for, is you can search people and their backgrounds. You can type in HR specific. You can search off of what business people are looking for. I will say I know some staffing agencies and recruiters have definitely been leveraging the poaching technique. So they know who their competitors are through LinkedIn. They can go on, they can see employees that work there if they've tagged themselves as employees, what they do there and their experience level. And it is a very easy way to reach out to somebody. So it's a good way to leverage someone who's already in the field of what you're looking for, has the skills that you're looking for, the industry experience and knowledge, and reaching out because they may be interested in, not necessarily know it, if you have a better compensation package or a benefit plan, and you can reach those people who wouldn't necessarily reach you first. So it's a great way to have an initial touch on somebody who's not necessarily interested. We call them passive lookers because they're not looking, but if the right opportunity comes, they might be interested in moving from one organization to the next. So that's one great way to reach out and find good talent for the LinkedIn aspect when it comes, like, again, as I said, to those white collar people versus the blue collar. The blue collar people might not necessarily be as easy to find on the LinkedIn platform, but that's why we have all those other platforms where those people might be surfing and passively interested in changing jobs as well. What are the benefits of the social media recruiting? You can build your employment brand very easily. We'll tell you how to do some of that. You can reach, as I said, those passive candidates. Indeed is a great place that a lot of people, ZipRecruiter is a great place that a lot of people post job ads. And I don't think that social media is going to 100% transition you away from some of those other classic ways of recruiting. But most of the time, people who go to Indeed or are going to any of those other platforms are looking for a job because they're unhappy, or they're looking for a job because they're looking for a comp increase or to relocate or whatever it may be, but they're interested, they're active lookers. While what we're trying to do is really engage those passive lookers. And part of it is a marketing strategy, because when you think about it, I may be super happy in my job today, but maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now, I'm not happy for whatever reason. It doesn't fit my family lifestyle anymore. My wife or my husband isn't getting relocated and I need to find a job in that area. So by letting these people know it, like a drip marketing style idea, and they see it over and over again, it's planting tiny seeds in their heads. So when they do become ready to become active lookers, they'll remember your business. It also helps them realize maybe they do want to be an active looker and they didn't realize an opportunity existed for them. So you're really sharing it with those passive candidates. You can supplement your employee referral program. If you run a solid social media and you let your employees follow your company on social media, whatever it may be, whatever platform it is, if they share, they like, they comment, that pops up in their network's social media feed. So I'm a friend, I'm not necessarily following you on your social media, but my friend shares your job posting ad. Oh, all of a sudden I realize that you're available. You are getting good feedback because my friend works for you. They vouch for you. They say you're a good employer. I'm more interested in applying and I'm qualified. So it's a great way to help leverage your employee referral program. If you're the kind of organization that wants to bring employees in that know other employees, it usually creates higher employee engagement, more long-term employees in general, better tenure, depending on the kind of employee referral program that you build. We were always encouraged to have a good employee referral program because you want to have employees, one, stick around longer. Employees are more likely to stay in locations where they have other personal connections, private connections, keeping it professional, of course, but making sure that there is more engagement there. You're more likely to stay at a job that you have other people that you enjoy spending time with than if you don't enjoy spending time with them. You can learn more about the candidates. You are more than welcome. As I said, LinkedIn's a great way. It's a professional resume. LinkedIn also allows, which I really enjoy, people to put referrals on there and recommendations. So you can see in real time that other people have said that those people have those skills. They can, vouch for. Facebook is not necessarily a place where you can put your resume. You might be able to, but it's a way to see maybe what other people are interested in, so you can get more feedback on them and get a little bit more down into their life cycle and if they might be a good fit for your company culture. And the low recruitment cost. So you post on social media ever so often. It's the cost of the employee posting on the social media. And then of course, if you wanted to do any kind of boosting, which is a cost, or paid ads. But other than that, it's just your time of posting onto the social media. You don't necessarily have to pay high cost like a Google ad to get it seen by the right target market. If you're doing the best you can with who you're trying to get access and information to. Here are some social media things. So here's your first action step if you're trying to get into this and this is your first time around. Review your company's social media habits. Do you have a social media? How many do you have? Are you located in multiple locations? Are you on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram? Figuring out what platforms work for you. There are plenty of different things that you can use. For example, our organization uses something called Canva. It's a great way that our marketing associate goes online. They're able to post on all of our social media platforms from one centralized location, which saves her time and effort, makes it more efficient. And she can make really great graphics through there. So it's awesome. She posts to our Facebook, our LinkedIn, and our Instagram, all through that particular platform. There's other things like Hootsuite that has a low cost in order to post to every platform that you have all at once versus having to come up with different things per platform. So you have a good branding across the pages, but figuring out what works for you. Are you likely to find your people on Twitter? Are you likely to find your people on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest? Are you a creative organization and you're more likely to find your creative people on Pinterest? So figuring that out is the first thing, is looking at your habits and where you're visible. The next action step is to establish your company's brand once you figure out where you are, right? So you want to represent your company's culture. You want to make sure that you're posting things that are authentic to you and your organization. You want to create a separate profile sometimes for your careers page versus your company's Facebook page. And that goes with the next tab, which is focusing on your candidate's persona versus your buyer's persona. If you have one Facebook page and you're really trying to promote different sales deals, or you're trying to reach your target market for who's buying your product or service, that might not necessarily be the target market of who you're looking for to work in your organization. So having a separate careers page is really great because then you can reach those people. Sharing, again, similar things. We're going to talk about some fun things to share on social media to hit your target market when it comes to who you're trying to recruit for. But making sure you're targeting your communication and your messaging towards those people. Who are you trying to hire? There's a different kind of communication and imagery if you're trying to hire somebody who codes, for softwares, then the imagery and the language that you're going to use if you're trying to hire a diesel mechanic. Excuse me. But that's a great recognition of making sure you're branding your social media. Brand it with your colors. Make sure your networking person or your marketing person is keeping target on what's going on. Follow like brands on social media. If you follow them, sometimes they'll follow you, and having that back and forth, not necessarily reciprocity, but having people say, oh, I've liked, BlueLion, it'll pop up and say, you might like these other pages that people have also liked. So it creates some of that cross-pollination, which is really, really good for your business, because again, it's those passive people that maybe never have heard of your brand or your business name, but by targeting the right kind of people through recruitment, they'll find you through liking other pages, or maybe they've liked their own business page. And because it's tagged similarly to your business, it pops up with, oh, you've liked XYZ, maybe you'll like ABC, and following them on social media as well. So you figured it out. What do you post? You can share employees' accomplishments. That definitely encourages your employees to get engaged. Who doesn't like to be recognized? Don't share their accomplishment or a photo without them signing off. I will say that. HR, a little asterisk. Make sure that your employees have signed off that you're authorized to use their photo and that they feel comfortable with you sharing their information on social media. Obviously not private data, but you can say, Jim does X, Y, and Z. We loved and we leveraged on our social media sharing our team members, fun facts about them, so that when people decided to come and engage with us both on a customer and on a candidate level, they recognize, oh, that's who so-and-so is. That's what Tony looks like. That's what Tony's interested in, to get a little bit more of a personal connection. Share if your organization's involved in the community. Here's a great example of Sodexo sharing that they have provided funding through their nonprofit to, a different college, and how they produce and help. We participate in Seasons of Giving. Our other co-owner, Allison's on the board of Make-A-Wish. So again, we're a 1% company. So we love to share that we're involved in the community, and it also helps the community stay involved with you. You know, using tags and tagging your community pages helps people who come to your website figure more out about the people around you. So it's also a great way to, again, cross-pollinate, get people to re-engage with other platforms and other organizations, and let those organizations recognize that you recognize them, and they might know somebody who might be looking for you. A great example is BlueLion was recently looking for another HR associate to bring onto our Pride. And we let some of our clients know that we were looking for an HR person, and we got 2 exceptional referrals from our clients. So you never know who somebody knows who might be interested. That's a good fit for your culture and for what you're looking for. Share video interviews of your employees. You know, it doesn't need to be some kind of big, you know, to do or a big thing where you have to bring in all these cameras. Your phone, whether it's an iPhone or a Google phone or an Android, whatever it may be, is very advanced today. You know, we're not talking about 10 years ago, the flip phones that have really grainy imagery. You can do a great, very easy, very natural, very authentic video of 2 people saying, hey, why do you like working here? What do you love about this organization? What would you tell somebody who's interested in maybe applying? And that is a very natural thing. People get to know more about it. Videos have very high clicks and reviews. People are more likely to stop on a video or stop on an image than just words. So it's a great way, again, to engage the kind of people you're looking for. Share videos of your location or your job site. If you're a construction company, some of the projects that you work on helps employees really know, oh, that's something I'm interested in. I love doing, you know, framework or whatever it may be, and recognizing at the end of the job, wow, that's what they do. That's amazing. We have a client, for example, who does multi-million-dollar home construction. And on their social media, they post like the story of how they get to the final result, right? They start with just the ground, just the flat land. And then all of a sudden they show the process of the building. And then here's this beautiful house with fixtures and paint and flooring and roof, and how beautiful it's come along. So people like that kind of interaction. They like seeing the progression of different things like that. And you're engaging, again, the right kind of people to watch and get interested in your business through that imagery and through those videos. Share your company values. You always want to hire people who are interested in what you're interested in and who align with what the company feels and what the company feels like. And a company benefits. That's a huge thing. I try and tell people there's no reason to keep your benefits under wraps, like it's some kind of big secret. People talk, and benefits are benefits. You want people to know about the benefits before they apply. Put it on your job posting, put it on your Facebook, put it on anywhere that exists. You don't need to drill down necessarily to the nitty gritty of we offer Harvard Pilgrim health care, PPO, whatever, but you can say we offer health insurance. We cover a portion of the premium, dental, vision, a short-term disability plan, retirement with a match, things like that. So that employees are like, oh, wow, these are the benefits that are either comparable to what I currently have or even better than what I currently have. So again, it drives people to be interested in your business and what you're doing without you having to have a one-to-one conversation with somebody. So that's that reduction of the cost of recruitment, because you can touch more lives quicker with less of an effort. Determine your target audience. So this is a screenshot of how Facebook works their particular target audience. As you can see, you can pick a special ad category. You can check off the employment button. So it goes very specific to people that are looking for employment. Those are the active seekers, as well as on the right, you can create your audience for those passive seekers. You can pick a name, you can pick gender, you can pick age. Again, I'll say with my little HR asterisk, be careful on who you're targeting. You don't want to accidentally discriminate against anybody being hired. But obviously, you know, if you're looking for people who have, you know, 5 to 10 years experience in something, you might not necessarily be looking for an 18-year-old person. So paying attention to different things like that. And then location, do you care where they are? Is it the entire United States? Is it Manchester, New Hampshire in a 10-mile radius? And you can filter your audience down. Facebook is really great with their algorithm of sharing with you about how many people that you'll reach. with that specific target. And you can play with it before you go active, which is great. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of them have, depending on your business page, a back channel to see how many people have clicked, how many people have added follows, how many people have commented, your engagement. So there is absolutely ways to track that algorithm and the metrics to see what you're doing is paying off. Appeal to the candidates that you want to attract. So this goes back to the conversation that I had that says, you know, if you're a construction company, show what you do. Show the people that are interested in construction things they'd be interested in. Get your employees a little bit engaged as well. I always encourage that and say, you know, what do you slow down and like and watch on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever it may be, and then leverage that, because if you already have great employees that are doing something, you want to replicate that. So appeal to the candidates that you want to attract. This is just, again, another great number. According to research by this particular organization, 63% of social media is made up of images. People like to look at pictures. People like to slow down on videos. How fast are we to scroll by something that's just 5,000 like things of text? I'm not going to lie. If there's more than something, I have to click more. I'm out. I'm not interested in it. And it's also less likely for me to share an image, a picture, a video. People click that share button so easy, and instantaneously you've expanded your reach. Content with relevant imagery reports a 94% higher response rate. And that means a lot, because if I like something, again, that shows up on my friend's newsfeed who's maybe similar to me. Oh, Tony liked this picture. Tony liked this video. All of a sudden they get to see the picture and video without even your intent to target them. So it expands the reach. It's the small pebble drop into the lake. All of a sudden your ripple effect touches things that you didn't even anticipate, and you get a better return on your efforts and on your investment. So what businesses are doing this, right? So here's just a few. We have Starbucks who have shared this on their Starbucks jobs page. So when I was talking about having your own careers page, you can go to a Starbucks page, and then they have their Starbucks jobs. They share their images, they share their newest partners. We have Amazon, they shared a video of them sharing to their staff out in California that they were increasing their Amazon's minimum wage to $15 an hour. So they were advancing much quicker than the federal government, and some states do, because there is the federal government minimum wage, and then some states have their own state minimum wage, which is much grander than the federal minimum wage. So they shared a video. It was very impactful. You feel people are really happy. You get really excited, and you think, I want to work for a company that cares about their employees. And then I did want to show this really great SodaStream recruitment video, because when I talk about BlueLion and how we have our own authenticity and our own personality, this SodaStream video was so hilarious that it's like, if you don't want to work for a fun company like this, it was amazing. So I hope that if I share it, it'll open up on my page for you to see. So as you can see, they have a pretty funny way of trying to attract talent. They'll definitely get a very good hit on people interested in coming to their organization. With a cool video like that, they talked about their values. They talked about the type of person that they were looking for. They shared video of their warehouse, videos of their office. They made a funny joke about being sued by Coke. They definitely kept it light and airy, but at the end, he pulled it together and shared that they are a organization that is interested in working collectively with a lot of different kinds of people who have the same values that they do. So it's a unique thing. It has over 1 million hits, of course, on YouTube. So finding something fun, finding something that's viral in a good way, could definitely impact your business. And it can be fun. It doesn't have to be stuffy that you're looking, for a certain kind of button down person. It can be very unique to your industry. Obviously, SodaStream is a multi-million-dollar organization that has a lot of money to make that kind of a video, but you can do something that's unique to your business and your company and your culture that has the same impact for your local area of who you're trying to attract. So definitely take a look around at some businesses and see what they're doing and make it your own. Or if it works for them and you think it's similar to you, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. So feel free to have that kind of impact on your own. Here are some metrics and goals to have when you're working on social media recruiting. Your goal is obviously to increase traffic to your career site. That is something you can find out with your web provider. They'll be able to say, we got so many more clicks and where those clicks came from. So you'll see where your efforts are really paying off. You want to increase your engagement with your Facebook or whatever social media you decide to move with, increase the traffic to your job postings. So that's if you're using Indeed or any other kind of platform, ZipRecruiter, what Careers, Monster, all of those things. You'll be able to find what your top sources of hire are. So working with your IT company or your social media person or your web developer, your web hosting company, whatever it may be, whoever the person is, they'd be able to tell you where the most traffic is coming from. So if you are trying at first to maybe pollinate on multiple platforms, they'll say, Facebook has the best results, or Instagram, or LinkedIn, or YouTube. And you'll be able to then hone in better on where your best target is coming from and spending more of your efforts there once you realize that that's where the best return is. You'll be able to source your high performers. So utilizing the people that are in-house that are really exceptional, wanting to duplicate them, realize where you found them from and see if they follow different things on social, and how to engage them is how you will engage your next top performer. You can track your time to fill. Right now, I know if we have any recruiters on the phone or anybody who is following, who is does any kind of recruiting, time to fill is very extensive. You're maybe looking at hundreds of resumes, and probably 90 of them are not necessarily qualified. So then out of the 10, you hope maybe they're a good fit. And then when you interview, maybe you get one. And now, we're 2, 3, 4 weeks in. So being able to move quickly is really important, because there's other people out there who are vying for the same talent you're vying for. So making sure that if you do decide to do social media, you have the capacity to engage with the people that are applying, and tracking your time to fill, and hopefully seeing a much faster return time for somebody to be able to start. And then your cost per hire hopefully goes down. So instead of, having to spend lots of money through posting through whatever the career pages you're utilizing that social media and leveraging it correctly without having necessarily to use the boost costing phase reduces how long and the cost in order to bring on a new hire. So those are the metrics that I would always suggest measuring to see if what you're doing works. At BlueLion, we never encourage you to do something that you're not measuring to see if there's success. Why, run just to run? You want to run to maybe shorten your time around the lap, or you want to run to have better heart health, metrics like that. Otherwise, you're not really sure if what you're doing is working, and you don't want to be spinning your wheels and not seeing a result. Employee advocacy. So social, recruiting through employee advocacy. This goes back to utilizing your employees to share things, utilizing your employees to engage with you on social media, utilizing your employees to share things, having that employee referral program. 72% of US adults use at least one social media, and 40% of professionals use social media for business related purposes. So that's a pretty good statistic. 4 out of 10 adults are utilizing social media for business related reasons, which means they're very easy to follow a business online, whether they necessarily know what they are or not. If they see something good that they want to know more about over time. Employee social media content is shared 25 times more frequently than when the same content is shared by a brand channel. So that means just because you maybe share something that's unique that your business finds fun, if an employee then shares that again, you're 25 times more likely to be seen by the right people than if you just continue to do what you were doing on your own. And then content shared by employees receive 8 times more engagement than content shared by brand channels. So it's one thing just to be able to see it and have it be a pass-by image or a pass-by video that somebody watches. It's another thing to have somebody actually take an action against that. So if they're liking it, if they're hearting it, if they're thumbs upping it, if they're commenting on it, if they're sharing it, you're 8 times more likely to see that actual engagement than if you were to just post it on your own. So definitely having your employees buy into it is a huge thing, making sure they recognize this is who we're looking for. So it helps them realize this is why they're sharing it, especially because some people, I know I'm very private, don't necessarily like to mix business and personal life, but knowing that their work life could get better helps their personal life get better. So having the right employees engaging with you has that 8 times more engagement, which means you're 8 times more likely to find the right person much sooner. And here is our section for people to be able to share either in the Q&A or the chat box if they have any questions. I think the biggest thing to take away from what we've learned today is social media is absolutely part of the wave of future recruitment. Right now, it is not the 100% replacement of our channels, such as our career platforms, our Indeed, our other things, but it's something that we want to use in cohesion to what we use already. We want to make sure that we're leveraging it with our branding. We want to make sure that we're hitting the right people with the right messages, making sure we're being professional while we're sharing certain things, so on and so forth, but at the same time, having fun with it. Through BlueLion, we do Meme Mondays, HR Meme Mondays. So we share funny memes to HR professionals that recognize the craziness of what we do. We just thought about sharing hashtag HR Freaky Fridays and sharing some funny, weird stories that we experience in HR that people probably have no idea about, but it engages the people who are looking, both our customers and people that we're looking to recruit for. They know that we're a fun company, but we also share a lot of legal stuff. So people know we are the person to come to when you have a question because we have that professional background, we have that experience. So you can be the fun company that you are, the authentic company that you are, whatever that may look like. And you can also be the go-to person for the industry of what you're trying to sell. You can do both at once. So that's a great way of reaching your social media and making sure you're leveraging it to the best way so that you can hit the most current people that are looking for a job and the passive people that might be looking for a job. Do we have any questions? Again, please put them in the chat function or the Q&A box. I will answer them. So I'll give everybody a quick minute or two if they have any to feel free to put in there for me to answer. I just want to let everyone know if you do put it in the chat box, it does only come to me. So it doesn't come to the group. So no one knows who's asked the question. I just want to let you know in case you're worried that other people will wonder why it's you asking the question. Okay. Looks like we don't have any, which is awesome. I hope that means I did a good job. And so this is our contact information. If you do have questions and you didn't want to put it in the chat, and this is where you can find us on social. So different things. You can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we share a lot of really great content on our YouTube channel. Lots of HR Q&As, and if you need to call us or email us, please feel free to do so. Excuse me again. I hope everybody enjoyed this information. If you did, please review us on Google and follow us to get more information. We do different kinds of free trainings like this every month on all kinds of different topics, and we have all of our topics already planned out for the entire year of 2022. Thank you everybody for joining us. We hope that this was informative and have a fantastic day.